central banks and the ECB in particular are in such a challenging position. There is a recession coming. Hopefully it's a mild recession. It probably should be a mild recession, but the ECB needs to lean against these price pressures. I think Europe's got one bad winter ahead of it, but once we get through this winter, I'm also relatively optimistic that Europe can bounce back quite strongly, and the winter after that, regardless of what happens with Russia and Ukraine, shouldn't be nearly as challenging.
Andrew, we were debating early in the week some of the trades around the European banks where there seems to just be a little bit of support. What's the thinking here? Is it just that we've got stepped up intervention by governments, limiting some of the potential fallout for loan portfolios, not to mention a little bit of expansion because of these much higher yields now pushing away from negative territory?
Well, it does help, and we've got the UK plan as a bit of a template to what might happen across Europe. And also we are seeing banks in better position. Clearly, the ones that you watch the most closely are the Italian banks, particularly with those widening BTP spreads, but they're much better capitalised than they were a few years ago. So those threats of a potential doom loop aren't there anymore. So, yes, it's going to be a challenging winter, but if with interest rates going up, which is generally good for banks, and if the recession is mild and there is a sign of recovery thereafter, then it could be a positive outlook for that type of cyclical sector.
Andrew, though, good morning to you, sir. Is it a case of paying more to know more, i.e. just wait and sit out what could be a horrendous period? I noticed you said a couple of times it could be a tough winter and thereafter things will get better. Is it just worth waiting to the spring before one invests?
I think so. And, it's not a time for taking big risks right now. I think the old adage of don't fight the Fed, don't fight central banks in particular holds pretty well right now. But, there is a case that whatever we get, we're heading for J-Powers, either soft or softish landing, not just in the US, but globally. And if that is the case, then things should improve once we get through the winter.